Hey there, welcome to the Mile High Church podcast. Candlelight services are coming December 23rd and 24th. This year's theme is Many Candles, One Light. Although we will not be able to gather in person, we can all light candles together. Visit milehighchurch.org for details. And now, Footprints of Light Part 1, Accessing the Light with Michelle Medrano.
My message today for us to consider in this two-part series. It's called Footprints of Light, and it's inspired by the notion of all of us walking this beautiful earth and making a difference by our very beingness and by cultivating light. And so today's talk is accessing the light. And we've got to start in this endeavor to create greater light on our planet by being willing to access that light within us, to claim it, to own it, to be immersed in it. And that may sound simple and easy, but in my experience, it feels to me as though we kind of take light for granted. In our modern world, it's very easy for us to attain light. We can walk into a room and flip a switch or ask Alexa to turn a light on for us if we're so inclined. And we can read and we can access information on the internet and get enlightened in our mind so easily these days. And yet, from a spiritual perspective and from the perspective of our spiritual nature and our human life, light is a vital part of our human experience. And I'm inviting us not to take it for granted, to consider this week really being dedicated to accessing greater light, especially in a time when we can be tempted into focusing on darkness. Not only, as Reverend Simon mentioned, is it the solstice and it's the darkest time of the year, but it also can be tempting with all the things going on in our world and the challenges that are happening to be very focused on the dark news that's going on in the world. And I believe that light is the truth of who we are. Now, if you think about it, light is woven into so much of what makes our human experience what it is. If we look back on our history, we can see that even as children and for many of us adults, light is pretty captivating for us. We're captivated by the sun. We love to watch sunsets and sunrises. We're captivated by the stars at night often and gaze at them and find them fascinating. We're captivated by crystals. Nearly every faith tradition on the planet, their creation story or how they believe the world came to be includes a narrative about light. The Bible even begins with the words that God claimed there was light, and there was. Light is at the start of many of our stories. Light is the beginning for us. Light is associated with well-being. When we're healthy and vital, people might say we're glowing and we're aglow with light. We love the sunshine and hence the sometimes discomfort with this time of the year when it's often so dark for so long. It can feel so overbearing and challenging. My friend Tara sent me a meme that I posted on Facebook recently that I just love. And it says, "Every day about midnight, I'm so shocked to realize it's only 6 p.m. That's me these days. During this time, during the change of the clocks, I don't know what's been going on, but I yearn for the light, and I yearn for the solstice. Feels like this really wonderful day that portends the beginning of more light on the planet. We just love the light. We love the sun. We love it. I think it's also interesting that throughout our history, when we see artwork depicting saints and holy people, it will often be with a glowing light around their head, a halo, angels with halos, light at the top of our beingness, a very important vision for us in our world. And physical light allows us to see into darkened spaces. Light's important to us. Some other things that I think are interesting is that when we talk about inspiration, we often talk about things like we have a flash of light. We had a flash of light. If we talk about having a positive change, we've seen the light. If we have a creativity or a new idea, it's with a light bulb. And life gets really heavy sometimes, and we might tell ourselves or tell others to lighten up. And of course, in the spiritual world, we're always seeking enlightenment. Plants live in a life where they seek the light, and wherever the light is shining, that's where they will bloom towards, that's where they will move towards, so that they can receive the light and experience photosynthesis to feed themselves and to continue to thrive. Light's important. And it's important for us to realize and contemplate light and be willing to consider it. The theoretical physicist David Bohm says, light is energy, and it's also information, content, form, and structure. It's the potential of everything. And so physicists are telling us now that light is the core of everything, that it's the physical world and the energetic world. Another meme I saw recently that gave me quite a delight was, it said in capital letters, "You matter unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light, then you energy." And so we are light energy always, even in these physical forms. In his book, The Luminous Life, How the Science of Light Unlocks the Art of Living, author Jacob Israel Lieberman, who was an eye doctor, but became what he calls an eye doctor with a capital I, talks throughout his book about light being like presence. That when we're present to light, we experience presence. And when we're in presence, we're in the flow. He talks about when we're in alignment with light, we even have these genius-like experiences. We have intuitive flashes. We have a sense of purposefulness and a sense of anchoredness. And that's what light can bring us when we focus upon it. The importance of that cannot be diminished. We yearn for access to the light. We yearn for enlightenment. We yearn to see the truth. We yearn to experience the sun. We yearn for the warmth of light, and we yearn for the inner light that shines within us. And so I'm inviting us to honor that yearning. Part of how we as humans tend to celebrate light has to do with the holidays that we honor. Christmas is one such holiday. One of the things about this time of year that I love are the lights everywhere, and I love looking at the lights. They remind me of the mirror of the light within me. And Christmas itself is at the core of that holiday, of course, is the story of the birth of a great light, a being who became a great light on our planet, Jesus, many call the Christ, who wandered this earth in his ministry and spoke and taught and healed and reminded people not only that the light was in him, but that the light was in all of us. Indeed, in the Bible, in the book of John, chapter 14, Jesus reminds his disciples and reminds everyone that everything that he did, we could do and greater things. What I love about his ministry and love even in reading in the Bible is that Jesus never tried to claim that light was exclusively his. He constantly, as any great leader would do, reminded people, look, the Father's within me, but the Father's within you too. The light is within me, but the light is within you too. And he led a life and lived that life in such a way that he inspired people to find their own inner light. And so we look to that story as a reminder of that truth. He embodied the Christ, but he was not the only Christ presence. And I requested that song today because I think that song reminds me so much every year of this powerful birth that was about to take place. The song, of course, is sung from the perspective of Mary. Mary, who's pregnant with this beloved one, who'd been told by angels that she was going to give birth to a way shower, to a great teacher. And so she could feel the burden of that not only the physical burden of being pregnant, but also the burden of being the mother, the one who would give birth to this great light. And this song is all about that potential challenge that she's facing. She asks herself very powerful questions in that song and invites herself to be present to the possibility of this light that she was about to give birth to. And again, not only was Jesus this light, but this light shows up in all of creation. This light that she was about to give birth to shows up in many great teachers and many great faiths. Indeed, it shows up in each one of us. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, says to us in his book, Ideas of Power, Christ, which is Jesus the Christ, Christ has the same meaning as the Buddha or the Atman or the anointed or the avatar or the Messiah or the enlightened. It means the spiritual principle and divine presence. Again, presence. The presence. And here Mary is, with this presence about to be birthed through her and feeling the burden of that. And the reason that I think that's so significant is I think that's my story. I think that's your story. I think we are birthing the light in our own life. We are birthing the light this Christmas. We are birthing the light every day if we allow that to occur. In the song, she wonders what she's done. She feels all alone. She feels like she's been chosen somehow to do this great work. She wonders if she's wise enough. She says, if you look upon me, do you wonder if a wiser one should have my place? But she offers all she is in this birthing of this light. And she asks for strength. And ultimately, she leans into in this song over and over again the breath of heaven. The only thing she can know to do, which is just to surrender to the breath of heaven. And that's not just the breath of the labor pains of the physical birth. That's the breath of heaven that is seeking to birth itself through and as each one of us, as Jesus has told us and as great teachers have told us. I sometimes wonder if the truth of us is exactly what that famous quote that Marianne Williamson said so many years ago when she said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. I invite us to consider that today. Is it really the darkness that's frightening us right now? Or is it that we can sense that with any darkness in our personal or our collective life, there's great light that seeks to be birthed in us. There's great light that wants to have its way through us. Now, I know that for each one of us, our world, the people around us, have not always nurtured that light within us because they didn't know how. Maybe they couldn't find it themselves. We haven't always been nurtured to just shine brightly. Sometimes we've chosen to shine and been batted down or been told that we were too much or been told that we shouldn't shine so brightly. I get it. I've had that happen to me too. And yet, I've noticed also in my life that I gain nothing by spending my life figuring out who to blame for my light not being able to shine, figuring out how to get people to take those words back. But rather, the best thing that I can do is to choose, no matter what is going on in my personal life or in the world that I'm experiencing, to bring that light to bear and shine it brightly, that I only benefit from that choice, and that the people in my life and our world only benefit from that choice. The choice to shrink, the choice to be in pain and suffering, the choice to live from fear, the choice to continue the narrative of negativity, it benefits me in no way. It benefits my fellow human beings in no way. The only way that true benefit occurs is when I choose to shine, when I choose to be the light that I am. Michael Beckwith from Agape said recently in a very recent talk, no one can stop you from shining. No one can keep you from radiating. No circumstance, no situation, no person, no place, no thing can make you contract. That's all in your awareness. So the real question today becomes, what do we choose to be aware of? Do we choose to be aware of our own inner darkness, of our own pain and suffering? And certainly we want to be aware of that for the purpose of beginning to transcend it and bring the light to it, to become the light, to access the light. And so in order to do that, the main thing I think we have to do is anchor that light. We have to become willing, as we do with anything and everything in our life, to bring intention and attention to that which is important to us. So all that I've been saying thus far in my hope is an invitation to consider that what is vital and important right now during this solstice time, during this holiday season, is that we choose to anchor the light that we are. That we choose it in our mind and in very tangible ways to live it out, to shine it brightly, powerfully, and joyously in our own experience. It's to choose to anchor the light with our healing journey. To begin to let go of anything that has kept us from our own light up until now, any pain or suffering or past remembrances or unforgivenesses or energy, to choose to give attention to ourselves on this path. I love Matt Kahn, who says to us, anchoring the light is how we heal ourselves and hold space for the healing of others. Right now, if we're concerned about life in our world or in the collective world, we have to understand that we have to bring light to bear upon those situations in order to bring healing to our world and to the conditions that concern us. Years ago, when Marianne Williamson came to my center in Arizona, I remember her very passionately looking at all of us and saying, how dare you continue to nurture the light and not turn on the lamp of your own awareness. And it impacted me greatly. It caused me to consider, where was I continuing to noodle on and nurture on and talk about and continue to raise up the darkness in the world and the darkness in my own life? And where was I unwilling to turn the light of awareness on in my own consciousness, in my own heart, in my own soul, and begin to see the experiences of my life and the life path differently? Where was I not turning the light on? Because we feel sometimes like we're victims of the darkness. It's like stumbling around in a room where there's a light switch, and we know there's a light switch, but we just refuse to turn it on. And we continue to run into things and stub our toes and say very unspiritual words as we knock our knees into things because we just don't want to take the time and the energy to stop and turn the light on. And some ways, it is that simple. It is that easy. It is that true to just take time every day in our life to nurture the light that is already present in us and in our world and turn it on. Shine it. Let it shine. But I notice sometimes when I get busy or caught up in my world or in the drama that's going on, the things that I can be about that allow me to experience my own light begin to fall away. And before I know it, I'm caught up in my own sense of darkness, which is an illusion. It's just not the truth. Even in the darkest moment in the universe, there's still light shining. I have to claim it. I have to accept it. I have to be willing to do my part. How do I do that? How do I do that? I had a conversation recently with a woman, and we were talking about my life, and she was supporting me in my life and in my journey. And she invited me to do something that no one had ever invited me to do before. She invited me to consider every day in my meditation practice sending light to my DNA. She didn't know I was working on this talk at all, but she just somehow suggested that as a practice that might serve me. And so I've begun doing that, and it has made such a difference. It has helped me to feel a lot more light and awake. And I love the practice, just sending light to my DNA every day. I say, as I do often in my ministry with the voice that I have, we must uplevel our prayers right now. We must be willing to deepen our meditation practice and to not neglect it. right now at Christmas time, right now with all that's going on in the world, right now during the solstice, is a time to use our meditation practice to gain greater conscious access to the inner light that wants to seek expression through us. Now, many of us reject this notion because we think this means that we have to take an hour a day and have some deep, meaningful practice. But I read a study recently that said that for 5 minutes a day of just having a bit of inner practice and focusing in and turning our intention to that light, this study said that people who do that are happier and more lighthearted. That was literally the result of this study. Happier and more lighthearted. So it's taking that time every day, even just a little bit, to focus on the light. Take time to notice the light. I take time to notice the Christmas lights. I know some of us are a little Grinchy, Scroogey-like and think, oh, the Christmas lights are too early or too many or whatever. But the Christmas lights, the holiday lights on homes and businesses always help me feel and remember the light. Looking at the stars at night. Many people have sent me articles and I've read about something fantastic that's happening on the solstice. I don't know if you all have heard, but on December 21st, 2 planets that have not been so close since the Middle Ages, Jupiter and Saturn, are going to be so close that it's predicted that they will align to create a star of wonder. And many are guessing, is it similar to what the wise men saw the night that Jesus was born, the Star of Bethlehem? Will it be that same kind of star? And will it be? Does it show signs of what some might say is the second coming? Now, I know a lot of followers of Jesus think that star and that second coming that is expected is about Jesus himself descending from the clouds. And I don't know, maybe that will happen, maybe that won't. My own personal sense of that is that really the second coming is about a birthing experience, as is Christmas. Not only was Jesus born of Mary, but something was born in this wonderful being, this Christ light, as Ernest Holmes was saying earlier, was born in him. I don't know exactly when it was consciously born. It's born in each one of us. We believe here that it's born in every one of us, that we are all the sons and daughters of the Most High. We are all the Christ light. But that at some point, the second coming, I think, could be the moment we realize the light that we really are and begin to shine it. It also could be the moment that humanity in mass begins to claim their light and shine it. The vision of great peace and well-being and peace on earth, goodwill to all begins to break out. But that is not some idea that is far off with a bunch of people over there or over there. That idea is available to the degree that we birth that light. Each one of us, we each have a part in that vision that I suspect we can feel, that we can sense, and that we can yearn for, because it is a part of light bursting out on this planet. But we don't get to abdicate our responsibility, our accountability, our possibility in that light breaking out. It's not just those people who are Christians or those people who are believers in Jesus. It's all of us being willing to embrace that Christ light and live it out. So how we do that is every single day of our lives, giving time and attention. Have I paid attention to the light today? The light in me, the light around me, the light that I've seen. Have I paid attention to it and acknowledged it? Will I be the light? Will we stand in whatever darkness we are perceiving is occurring in our world and or in the greater world, and be a stand for light? Will we anchor that light? Today, as we close this part of this service, I want to invite us into a practice. This last Wednesday in our staff meeting, Reverend Simon took our staff through a meditation process that I've done many times, but I hadn't done for many years. And it was beautiful and powerful, and it reminded me of a way that we can be the light. So I'm inviting us into this practice today. It's a Buddhist practice called Tonglen. And there's a slide that's coming up that shows a little bit about it. It's an image of Buddha Buddy from a website called satavawellness.com. And so you can learn more about Buddha Buddy there. But I love this image because it shows on the left side some of the darkness of things and concepts that we might be worried about. But then we see Buddha Buddy transmuting, and that's a very powerful word, transmuting and breathing, and on the other side of him is great light. Sometimes, like you, I don't know what to do with the darkness that I see, that I witness. Sometimes I don't know how to transcend it and get past it. But we're going to practice this today with just a few deep breaths of Tonglen. And so in that first inner breath, the idea is to breathe in the darkness that we might see. And that can seem very strange to us, but a huge part of what that does, as Reverend Simon pointed out, and as I completely agree with, it helps us not do what we call a spiritual bypass. To look out in the world and see something that is not lovely and go, oh, well, I'm just going to affirm that that's just fine. I'm going to look away and I'm going to affirm that that's just fine. I believe that part of how we bring the light to bear in the world is we look right into the conditions and situations that even bother us, that discomfort us. We look right at them with soft eyes, loving eyes, and we see them fully. Sometimes they break our hearts, don't they? But we see them completely, and then we see right past them and see through them, and we bring that perception of darkness within us and transmute it by our own inner light, and then begin to see it from that standpoint. And so it's a beautiful practice. So as we breathe in together, some things to consider that you might want to bring into your practice as we do this today might be your concerns about Christmas, being alone, breathing that in. Might be concerns about things going on in the world. If you're concerned about a certain country or world leaders, or concerned about the coronavirus, or if you have experience in general of fear about the virus, or have specific people in your life that you want to consider. Maybe you want to bring in the history of injustices to people of color and bring in that systemic racism that we've been seeing and being awakened to. And maybe you want to bring in the concerns about finances, if you or someone you know is having, or the economy in general. Maybe you want to bring in things that are bothering you about the world, the ecology of our planet, or animals, or children, or abuse, or neglect, or crime. Whatever it is that we can be tempted to go down the rabbit hole of darkness towards, we can bring in this practice. So think about a few of them, or maybe pick one that's really bothering you or worrying you. Because Ernest Holmes tells us worry is misplaced faith. As I was saying, we don't contribute to the solution by continuing to worry and nurture the darkness. We only contribute to the solution when we choose to be a part of transmuting it. So I invite us just to take a deep breath and go within. And getting centered. We have the spiritual courage to allow ourselves to consider some area of life that concerns us, that we experience fear or worry, doubt about. And we breathe it in. We breathe it in, we take it in, we see it, we acknowledge it. And as we breathe it in, we feel the light of our own being, the light of the divine, meeting and greeting that situation and condition, even bowing to it, seeing it fully. No need to try to change it or fix it, just allowing presence, the presence of light and breathing it out. And as we breathe it out, seeing light going forth from us into that situation, taking another breath in, breathing in either the same condition or a different one that bothers us, breathing it in, being fully present to it, bringing the presence of our own light. And breathing it out. And one more time, breathing in, condition that bothers us, looking fully at it, naming it in our beingness, bringing our light to it, our presence, knowing that something in us, as us, that's greater than us, is present to, in, and through, and as we breathe it out. I accept and affirm in all of this practice that we go forth from this place empowered, inspired, and uplifted to continue to anchor the light this week, to stand as witness to the truth and the wholeness of the light that lives as us, the healing light that we are and that we can bring to bear on any concerning problem, situation, or condition in our world and in the world of all others whom we share this planet with. We stand fully in and as the light, joyously immersed in it, breathing in everywhere we go that breath of heaven, breathing it in, allowing it to nurture us, to uplift us, to remind us of the Christ light that lives in us and as us. I stand firmly in this prayer, knowing this truth about myself and all who hear these words, accepting and affirming that the light is breaking forth on our planet like never before. We are the light. We live the light. We are the footprints of light. Thank you, life. Thank you. We let this be and let it go. And so it is.
Thank you for listening to the Mile High Church podcast. This podcast is made possible by the generous contributions from listeners like you. If you'd like to make a donation, please visit us at milehighchurch.org. Have a fabulous day.